What is a subtle sign someone isn't a good person? They often criticize others, but can't handle any criticism about themselves at all. A related concern is when they are super nice to you and only criticize or talk down to people who they perceive as beneath them, like restaurant servers, grocery store workers, children, etc. If the only reason you're nice to someone is because you perceive them as an equal on some arbitrary human valuation process, then you're the garbage. Anything you say to them can and will be used against you, but subtly. When they always playfully insult you, but can't handle any criticism about themselves at all. When they can't apologize. Or worse, when they pretend to apologize, but just end up trying to shift the blame. The issue is people are passing the idea that apologizing is a weakness. Admitting fault is weakness and losing frame or some bullcrap like that. Because people only use extremes as examples. Case in point. The doormat-like person who apologizes for everything, even things they aren't responsible for, is used as an example to why they should never apologize even once. I get the argument, don't apologize for everything and anything, but there is a balance, lol. Unfortunately, stupid people can only view the world in black and white perspective. Another crazy one is when someone will wait to see if you're sorry first. Like their apology will only exist depending on what you have to say. The idea is if you're actually sorry, it doesn't matter a damn what the other person has to say, it's an expression of your own remorse, not a business deal. I see you're sorry and raise you and I was unaware that you were so sensitive. When they say I'm sorry, you feel that way. You feel the need to be careful with how and what you say to them because they'll twist words to make you sound like the bad guy. Too many misunderstandings can make you extremely conscious of yourself and make you walk on eggshells. Every time you interact with them, you feel worse than before. There are some people who are like that because they are just awful people. But I think most of the time, someone who is like that because they are hurting. They are broken and hurting, and it spills out into every interaction they have. I've been there, I was that awful person. I was hurting. I was called out on it and it hurt me further because I didn't realize how awful I was to be around. It was a humbling experience. The key is, once you realize what is happening, that you take steps to address it. This is what separates the awful people from the just hurting people. If someone calls you out on being awful and you just get defensive and double down, then you're that awful person no one wants to be around. If you realize, oh crap, I need to make some changes, then I think you'll be alright. I would extend this to people who are overwhelmingly charming. If you meet someone who is charming and leaves you with a bad gut feeling, and I'm not talking about jealousy or envy, they're not good. But at the same time there will be others who totally fall for it, so it's a red flag if those people suddenly start favoring the new super charmer over anyone else. These guys are so aggressively confident that you know that they are freaking unhinged when nobody is looking. Domestic abusers, rapists, guys who want to fight after a drink. They are very concerned with making sure you know they're a good person. They tell small lies. The kind you might pick up on and not mention cause it's not anything big, but when added up they can completely change the context of the situation. A former friend of mine did this a lot. He usually lied about how many girls he definitely wasn't having horizontal tango with. In one instance he told everyone that he stole a guy's girlfriend while he was standing right in the middle of the classroom, and he did nothing. A mutual friend was there and he told me what really happened. Apparently he tried to go in for a kiss, but she rejected him. The boyfriend saw and basically my former friend got his butt kicked. I know so many people like this. They lie compulsively about stupid crap. I think it stems from insecurity and trying to prove to others that they're better than how they feel about themselves. Always be aware of gossips and people who are nasty about others behind their backs. You are probably not the only person they are telling. They will probably be gossiping about you to other people. They tell you things about their other friends that they should keep between them. It also means they're telling your business to someone else. They cut in line. This is one of the better answers so far. It's simple and people often treat it as a joke, but it's very telling. It demonstrates how they perceive other people. People who cut in line persistently don't see other people as real. It's a pretty clear sign of narcissism and contempt for anyone who doesn't have some kind of power over them. Savages. Barely even human. They disregard you often. They are happy to have you listen, they turn away when it's your turn to talk. They want to dump their stuff on an emotional dumpster but can't handle any of it on themselves because they can't be bothered to have an ounce of empathy. Anyone who takes advantage of your kindness. When they apologize during a conflict, they get angry if that doesn't immediately end the conflict because they never truly felt sorry and their only goal was to escape repercussion. This will become evident when the behavior they had apologized for keeps happening and never improves. Signed, someone who has been on both sides of this equation. Look at how they treat the people around them. Do they treat people they perceive as being below them worse or with dignity and respect? As a, mostly, reformed bad person who was raised by non-reformed bad people, they say whatever you want to hear on most occasions. They genuinely show very little concern for your well-being to the point where you feel your emotions are an afterthought. There's a double standard in the relationship. They can do things you can't. You've caught them doing something really shitty, but only once or twice, so you forgive them. They genuinely don't notice when they do something harmful. You find you're always doing what they want to do. You get promises of changed behavior, like a lot, but rarely see any change. You feel insecure around them, like you're always vying for their approval. Your shit goes missing, and they are confused or surprised when you notice they have it. They have a past, which hey we all do, but it cannot be a great sign sometimes. They tell you, I have told many folks hey, I'm a bad person, and they're like oh no, I don't believe you. They genuinely don't notice when they do something harmful. You find you're always doing what they want to do. You get promises of changed behavior, like a lot, but rarely see any change. You feel insecure around them, like you're always vying for their approval. Your shit goes missing, and they are confused or surprised when you notice they have it. They have a past, which hey we all do, but it cannot be a great sign sometimes. They tell you, I have told many folks hey, I'm a bad person, and they're like oh no, I don't believe you. People warn you about them. People tell you to get away from them. Their apologies are very half-hearted and designed to end the conflict. They don't understand why you can't let things go, but they don't have to. They make you feel bad about some fundamental part of your identity or who you are. You're always aware of how you could be different or better in their eyes. They disappear and come back. They're really vague about things that could be unflattering. The way they tell you about their past highlights the good about them, or how they were a victim. They are inconsistent in relationships, moving really fast, then being gone, etc. You catch them in multiple lies. They talk a lot of crap. They 100% talk crap about you. They overcompliment, you're my favorite, etc. They're only around when they need you for something. No changed behavior after apologies. Excuses instead of apologies, trying to make you feel bad for them. Edit O and some other ones since this is blowing up. Generally reckless behavior, frequently changing friend groups, uninterested in your life unless it's drama or something they can use against you. You find yourself frequently questioning them or yourself. Did that really happen? Did I imagine it? Your version of anything is rejected in favor of their version. You feel uneasy around them, but allegedly have no reason to. They push your boundaries. I can't stress enough that if they're bad to other people, they will do those things to you. You are not the exception. That being said, on behalf of all bad people, a lot of it comes from significant trauma. If you can cause people that much pain and not care, usually you couldn't attach to your caregiver in a normal way, so you never learned empathy, my case, or you were taught to fear other people, my case, or you have severe substance use problems, my case, or a personality disorder, me again, or severe mental illness, it's me, it's just about me. Not all folks who have these things are bad people. They will never, under any circumstance whatsoever, admit their mistakes. My father is the best example of this. I've been repeatedly beaten by him throughout my childhood. I once confronted him about it. His response was, and I quote, "I've never touched you my entire life." When presented with evidence regarding the multiple times that he did, indeed, hit me, he replied, "You deserved those beatings, anyways." If they say stuff like, "Sometimes I wonder if I'm a bad person, but then I realized that a bad person would never question if they were bad, so I must be a good person." Questioning if you are a bad person does not automatically make you a good person. Bad people are perfectly capable of questioning whether or not they are bad. The difference between a good person and a bad person is not which one questions themselves, but which one gives themselves a free pass. Twist your words around, manipulate your thoughts, etc. Victim complex. I find everyone I meet with a victim complex are not trustworthy and cannot take responsibility for their actions. Often these people are narcissists. That's a big one for me. Someone who will never admit their fault will never grow as a person. Someone else said it on here. But there is definitely a line between being honest and being so tactless that you're just in butthole. Shopping cart test, how they treat people who can't hurt them. Basically, you can tell if someone is a good person based on where they put their shopping cart when no one is watching. Put it in the cart, return. Good person. Leave it in the parking spot next to their car. Bad person. Push it into the lane and hope it hits another car. Shit person. Push it out into traffic. Psychotic person. Turn it on its side in the empty lot near the store and cook their groceries on it. Entrepreneur. It's a built-in test of how people behave when there are no repercussions for bad behavior. No one will punish you if you do not return your cart. There are no consequences. You are free to behave poorly. How you behave is entirely your choice. If they cheat with you, they'll cheat on you. If they stab you when you walk past them. People who easily criticize others but never criticize themselves don't display doubts or fears about their own activities. Or, if they do it, they only do it in a joking and extremely exaggerated way, humbragging. An inability of being critical about themselves is a telltale sign of an butthole.